Hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of the Author Spotlight. You know who it is. It's the host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. I'm excited to be with you this is where we go behind the scenes with key people of influence, change agents, planet shakers. And when I talk about we got a planet shaker, we got one on the show today. I'm so excited to have on Miss Cledra Gross. And before I let Cledra come in and do her thing, I'm telling you, when she started dropping these value bombs in there, I know y'all see the love. I felt the love when I was coming in. And as soon as she popped up, I was like, oh, I know we're going to have a great show today. A great show. But Cledra is the founder and CEO of Plan B Coaching, LLC, a recipient of the Radical Success Institute Shining Star Award, one of Atlanta's top 10 over 40 for living their best life. You know what I'm talking about? Best life, not any ordinary life, and featured in countless magazines. Before I go into it, more about her bio, I'm going to let her come on and share details because she can do it better than I can. But Ms. Cledra Gross, thank you for coming on to the show. And as I just said, could you please fill in any of the gaps and share with our audience some things they need to know about you as far as your bio that I might have left out?
Absolutely. I'm so glad to be here, Darren. And just I want to acknowledge what you're doing. I mean, this is some great stuff to let people peek behind the scenes. And that's part of what I'm passionate about
Mm.
as a life coach is just helping people know the real deal of what it takes so that they can get there faster than it took me. So that's what it's really about, is serving people and women especially to walk into the best life, the life that God has for them. That's really the essence of what I love to do.
I love it. I love it. And forgive me, Collegiate, but you just brought up some, in this day and time, I think that our women are really being looked over. And I don't really like it at all because I know in my company alone, I can't speak for nobody else. If my grandmother were here, she would say, testify, boy, testify.
Yeah.
So we're not there though, but I'm just going to just bring it up because we're behind the scenes. But I could imagine what our company would be if it weren't for women
Mm.
and their knowledge of how they see stuff and the attention to just so many facets of our company. If it wasn't a woman's touch on it, I wouldn't even be here for this interview. We wouldn't be able to have grown the way that we have grown. So we're going to get into that. So how do you feel about the serving women? Just share that a little bit before we move forward.
My heart is for women because I know how much we shoulder for everyone else and then how we're not there for ourselves. And so I'm that woman who will go behind the scenes for women. Similar to the way you're doing it for, your business, I do it for the woman's heart. We're very masterful as women of making you think that we're okay, but we're not. And so that leads to a lot of disease. It leads to a lot of depression. And because we're so great at carrying it all and doing it all, but at the same time being broken, I know that my call is for that can't be seen, but it can be felt. It can be felt in the love. That's why I surround myself with that. I can hear what they're not saying. And that's my gift, is to support women in their truth.
In their truth. I love that. And speaking of truth, share with our audience this baby you got. This baby, it doesn't say wham, wham. It might not keep you up, but it could keep you up at night. But could you share the name of your book and also why this book, Cledra? With your background and what you know, why did you choose this book?
Absolutely. So the name of my book is Rewrite Your Story because it was birthed out of a season that was very dark for me. Maybe you guys can relate, where you thought you had everything planned. I had the husband, I wanted the 2.5 kids, the dog, all this stuff, the house in the cul-de-sac, check, 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 check. I was a checklist woman, and you stay around long enough and God will show you, you are not running this thing. And my marriage ended up not working out, and my pregnancy ended tragically where my baby's heart stopped. So in all of that, darkness and truly a wilderness time of my life, what God showed me is that this is your time to look for me for the life I planned for you. And so rewrite your story is about just that no matter what has happened to you, that you can, in fact, rewrite your story. You know, but you want me to stop there or keep going with it a little bit?
Oh no, you you at the house.
I'm at the house, okay.
You at the house, you can kick those stilettos off, girl. Hey, you can do what you feel, and and if you want to, just share a little bit more about that. How and that wilderness part. And I just want to, before you go on, I just want to bring up what Miss Gross just shared with us is the wilderness. But some of you'll see her, you see the backdrop. Oh, she's on the author spotlight. She has this company. Wow, she's doing this in Atlanta. She's living the best life. But what do you do when it seems like that you're dealt a hand of your worst life? This is what Miss Gross represents. That just because life hit you with a haymaker or hit you with a punch that you might not like or that you don't feel comfortable with, you must have in your mind that it's not over, that you can start again. You can get up. You can rewrite your story. And so I'm loving having her on this show because no matter who you are, I have to make that pause, Miss Gross, because some people see you where you currently are and they will think automatically, they will assume, oh, that she hadn't been through anything, or it was just easy for her. She don't know my story, but you know that you had to go through a wilderness to get where you are now. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely, is correct. That wilderness is different for all of us, but the thing that we share in it is a brokenness, and it's a disappointment that's a gut punch. And for me, that was, losing my baby and not being getting the news that I would never go on to have a biological child. And so I had a lot of shame because the thing that women are celebrated for the most in this country is being a mom. And so I thought at that time, why am I really here? Where is my value? And God really had to deal with me with that, your value isn't attached to any status that this world gives you. And that includes being a mother. It includes being a wife. It includes your job. And so what that season taught me is that I had an over-attachment to what I could achieve in this life, that my main attachment is to do what I was sent here to do. And whether that was, at the time, like I said, so picture a woman, I'm almost 48 now, but this is 9 years ago. So I ended up losing my job. Well, my job was dissolved. So I had to relocate to Atlanta by myself, downsize from this giant house. Because keep in mind, I was on the track with the dream life, right? Big house, the husband, ready to have the kids, and it all unraveled. So I want you to picture me going to this tiny apartment and having to start all over at 39. And moving alone, not with kids, not with a husband, not with family. I had some sick relatives at the time, so even my parents couldn't come and help me. It was a dark time. And in that time, because I didn't have anything to rely on but God, you hear it's a nice saying to say when all you have is God, that's all you need. It's cute. But when you got to walk that thing out, it's not cute. And it was painful. But fast forward, I can speak to women now who have kids and I can wake them up to what's important about those children. I can speak to women who have lost their job and wake them up to the fact that they're not that title at that job. And I wouldn't have known any of this if I hadn't gone through that. And I want to say that to you who are listening, there's some nuggets, there's some wisdom that you're going to get in the wilderness that you can only get in the wilderness. You can't Google it. It is the grace of God. These are things that will be revealed in a spiritual realm that you only get on your face. I wasn't on my knees. If you've been through something hard, you might be on your knees. You've been through something that's just devastating, you'll be on your face. I got this on my face. And so, if you haven't heard it from anybody, you can hear it from me. You can rewrite any story. And I know what I'm talking about.
Because it's not like that. I love what you brought up right there. I keep on having these hallelujah moments when I'm listening to you over here. That I'm sorry. I don't know. I try not to go there with y'all today, but I just these hallelujah moments keep coming up when you speak. Because I always say value bumping with you. It's the hallelujah moments coming on the show. But this is why behind the scenes, because this is what people got to see. They see the banners, they see the Facebook lives, they see the Snapchats, they see the red carpet appearances and the awards and all of this and being acknowledged all over the place. But the key to it is the nuggets that you will gain and that you will glean from being in the wilderness. You can't get it on Google. You can't pick it up in a book. You got to have somebody who actually go through it. And by that, it allows for you to have the fortitude to be the individual that you are now. So when you got the mantle that you have right now, you don't have to worry about the wind blowing you off now. You don't have to worry about if it's just a little rain and now you uprooted from who you are and your responsibilities to women and mankind, period. Because you know where your strength come from. Because why? You was face down. You had those face down moments. And speaking of that, that's a perfect segue. I just want to, after all you had been through, what made you think that you believe that you could write a book when so many others have failed at the task? Or you could have said, I've been through so much, the husband situation, a marriage, and what made you? There's a lot of people that say they want to do a book, but what made you believe that you could actually do it?
What made me believe it is that I was going to get something out of this pain, and I wanted to leave a legacy. And in my mind, it was a child. Like a lot of women, you dream of getting married, having children. And so, again, this was through revelation that I could leave a legacy in a different way. And the book is something that will outlive me. And so I started asking, what were the things, Cledra, that you had in your heart about the child? And then God showed me how I could get those things in a different way. And so my book, I had spent 20 years saying I was going to write a book. So this time I got serious. I hired a coach. I went deeper. I didn't just try to be the Lone Ranger. I had bought books about writing a book, still didn't write the book. Like I said, 20 years of talking about it. It took me 6 months after I hired someone and I got serious about it. That was my first book. My second book took me 8 weeks. And it's because when you make a decision, that ism means to cut. It means you are cutting off any other option. And that's why. So until you have made a decision, it's always going to be optional. But it was no longer optional for me because this was my legacy. It continues to be my legacy. It's what I wanted to plant in the earth to impact this world. That's my call, to impact this world. This world's not going to impact me. Impact this earth way after my last breath. That's what this is about. That somebody can pick this up when I'm long gone and go, oh my gosh, she went through all of this. So it became bigger than me, bigger than, whether I'd be on shows like this or whatever. It was my life and what I knew my purpose was, my divine purpose.
I'm just loving every, and if you was a fly on the wall, you know everything I'm talking about. I can't even make this up. I was just talking about this yesterday.
Wow.
The same thing. Wow. I mean, verbatim what you was talking about.
Wow.
The same message all the time, but we really got into it yesterday of understanding the importance of making a decision, knowing that it ain't about the shows, and that's a byproduct of you operating in your purpose. The profits come after you operate in your purpose, and that's the thing. When you realize that it's non-negotiable, it's nothing to even talk about. The book has to get done, and another thing, when you put your time and your money, that's when somebody know you see it. That's when you done really made a decision. Because if you ain't putting time and money into it, then all you doing is talking. You just bumping your gums, basically.
That's right. That's right. And you have to invest. And investment is exactly what you said. It's time, it's money, it's energy, it's focus. Mm-hmm. That's an investment. A lot of people are not getting a return because they're not having an investment. You invest zero, you get zero. That's just the truth. And you're surprised because that's just not the way this thing works. You got to put something in to get something out. Mm-hmm. And again, I didn't do it to be on any one show. I did it because I just knew that this was something that I couldn't leave this earth without doing. And so you have to have a passion that is driving you, and that fire that's driving you, that no matter what happens on the outside, no, this is the way I'm going. Period.
Burn the ships.
That's right.
We're going up the hill. It's Normandy again. We're going up this D-Day. We're going up the hill. And I love that. I had to get something out of the pain.
That's right. Other than
Oh,
just
my
pain.
goodness.
You know, you don't want to just have pain left with it. No, I'm going to get something out of this.
You're going to get a gain off your pain.
I'm going to get a gain. It's going to be a profit.
I'm going to get a gain off your pain. And you know what? I think I'm going to speak to the audience right now, because Miss Gross already know this. I can't tell you how many of you all who sent emails into the show or when I'm speaking. And I want y'all to understand this. A lot of y'all have got to change your mindset. Let me go and give a little scripture to y'all right now. All things work together for the good for those who love God and called according to his purpose.
Romans 8:28. Yes.
It said all things. Now, it didn't say part of things, 1/4. It didn't say 1/3. It said all things. But a lot of you aren't monetizing or taking advantage of the opportunity that God has given you for you to be a breakthrough. We don't understand the law of reciprocity, that you might have went through something that allows Miss Gross to be able to serve women better because of what she went through. But we serve a God that will give you double for your trouble. Hello, somebody. I feel like preaching right now. Y'all about to make me put the offering plate around here. No, but I'm just being honest with you. We don't understand that some issues that I had as a juvenile allow for me to be able to break into the industry and speak to juveniles and be compensated and save lives. Yeah. See, someone who might have been had an abusive relationship. Now, all of a sudden, if they use that right, they were able to be blessed to get out of the situation. But now they can do keynote speeches and do coaching and get. So what was supposed to kill them? Let me go and give another scripture. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It didn't say it wouldn't be formed.
That's right.
It didn't say it wouldn't be formed. So I'm just bringing this up for you to change your mindset. It's like the acres of diamonds in personal development. You can be looking at something that's right up under you the wrong way, and you're praying and you're fasting and you going to events and seminars, but you're not. You see what Miss Gross has. You see what I have, but you don't see what God has given you. And you got to have that Moses moment where you have to look what's in your hand. And you might have a rod there in your hand or staff in your hand that can do some things for you, but you're minimizing it because you're looking at what Cledra has, or you're looking at what Darren has, or Oprah, or Bill Gates, when he's giving you the same infinite possibility.
Or Darren, if I could get in, as women, not only do we look at others, we look at our pain too much. We get caught up in our feelings. So as women, we let our feelings dominate. And so we let pity rob us of our destiny. And we let pity rob us of our power. And we get with other women who will allow us to indulge in stories that are over. And let me say, I'm not being insensitive, but whatever you've gone through, it's over. The only way you keep it alive is up here. It's in your mind. So you keep bringing that thing back because of you. So yes, it may have been hard. No, I'm going to take May. It was hard. It was unfair. That's another thing we as women would get in. I didn't deserve this. Well, who are you? We're not entitled. Who we don't get to decide what we deserve. You know, I have this thing that life is fair to everybody. You know why? Because it's unfair to everybody. It at some point, life punches at all of us. It's just we get a punch in a different category. For me, it was divorce and not having kids. For you, it might be a disease. It might be, whatever, challenges in your marriage. Whatever. We all have a punch. And as women, we are always thinking that our punch is harder and that I have it worse. And if only people knew how bad I have it. And those are lies. And the more you indulge in your feelings, the more those feelings are going to rob you. Like Darren just said, that's a mind issue. That's why the word says renew your mind daily. You gotta get dressed in that armor so that when that whisper comes up, well, you know what happened to you? And no, that's over. So we as women, and I noticed because I did this, we keep things alive that we need to bury. It's robbing you. When you really look at what it's doing, the threat it poses to your future, you'll get serious about this thing. You'll dry those tears and you'll say, you know what? I mean, look, in that season, some days I didn't know the difference in the sweat and the tears. When I had gained 70 pounds with my pregnancy, but I knew I was going to start running. And I got my running shoes on at 246 pounds. And I went out there and started running. My entire family told me not to. But I went to my doctor and I said, is it safe? She said, it's safe. She said, but Cledra, you know, you just lost. I didn't want to hear the commentary. I just wanted to know if it was safe. You got to be clear about what you're going to allow in your ear gates and what you speak. All of that matters. And we as women, we get so emotional, and that's a gift. And it's also a challenge. You got to know how to manage your emotions and not make decisions out of emotion. You make decisions out of revelation from God and commitment. Big difference. When I'm working with a woman and she wants to get into her story of what's going on and you don't know how hard I have it, I tell her, you know what, I want you to find a woman who's going through exactly what you're going through and she has created massive success. You are not so unique. How do we know that? There's nothing new under the sun. That's the word. Your situation is not so unique that it can't be broken out of. That's a lie. So,
you know what? I think I might be a prophet. You know, I said this jokingly earlier. I said like we know each other. It's just like we done talk, but I can't tell you. This is one of the best interviews ever. Right now. I can't tell you how good this is. It's just like, girl, you don't even know. We brothers and sisters. You don't even know. You're a female version of me. I'm a male version of you. However you want to put it. But that message, what you just shared right there, so many got to hear that message, what you just said. Because you brought, and I want to just take, because I'm over here taking notes. Don't let your pity rob you of your destiny or your success. Hey, people don't understand. It's killing them.
Oh yeah.
They can't have them. They can't have a relationship because they got a pity party about themselves. They mad with the person. They mad without the person. Oh, woe is me. They think they're the only ones who got kids. They're the only ones without kids. They're the only one who can't buy a purse. They're the only one who. It's killing them. It's just like somebody's smoking a cigarette or something and they know cancer running their family or something. You are just killing and robbing yourself. And then guess what? When you bring it into fruition, then you mad about that. I don't know how that happened. Because you caused it.
You spoke it. Right.
Wow. You and Joyce Myers, I got a soul seed to that ministry. Because see, that ministry right there, they got to hear that. I always tell my mama, I said, Mama, I pay Joyce Myers then because I can't see if I said, oh, you don't know, oh, you know, here you men go. But and let me get you some Southern vernacular here, if you don't mind, Miss Gross. As my auntie would tell you, baby, and that's a Southern thing. It's a lot meant when you hear that, baby. When you hear that right there, or you hear somebody say bless their heart, it's a lot of hidden connotation in there. You got to bless their heart, bless Lord, look at it. That's Robert Earl, bless his heart. So I just want to go, and speaking of that, with your busy schedule and all the things that you have going on, please share with us, what are some hacks? What are some things that you do to allow for you to be able to get that content out and create? Because some people have, a lot of people, I'm so busy, you don't understand, Cledra. I got this to do, I got that to do. You talked about commitment. So how are you committed when it comes to creating content for your books?
So when I wrote my book, I was still working in corporate America. I've since left and I'm working full time for myself. But what I would do is get up at 3 a.m. and people go, oh, well, you know what? How bad do you want it? So from 3 to 8 a.m. or 7:30, I would spend my time with God because you got to go to the Creator to be creative. Okay, so you always want to put God first. And then I would go run. At that time, back then, I wasn't married, remarried, and I would run at 5 a.m. to clear my head. So I'm saying this to say you have to take care of your spiritual self and your physical body so that when you sit down to bring your work, your creativity, you're bringing the best, version of you to that you're clear. You're not like hungover from eating too much or, worried about something in your heart, because your reader will feel that in your writing. So that was a 4.5 hour block that I had for a long time. And then I come home after 5, take maybe an hour and a half break, and I work from 8 to 10. So, but in your schedule, whoever I'm talking to, time blocking is basically, I don't do long, exhaustive to-do lists. Those will overwhelm your mind, because who can say, oh, I checked everything off? No, most of the days you'll say, I didn't check it off. So what you do is you have your main priorities in blocks. So I still do a 4 a.m. to an 8 a.m. block now. And in that time, God is still there. Sometimes I don't work out in that time, but that's when I will write. That's when I'll post to Facebook and give something good to the world. Like I'm pushing out something good. But in that block, it's about my reset with God. And so in your blocks, you want to focus on your main priorities. So then you have your writer's block. For me back in the day, it was 3 a.m. to 7:30, whatever your writing block time is, write. I don't care how you feel. If nothing's coming, you sit there and write. Nothing is coming. Literally, that's just what you write. and you sit there because it's the discipline of it. If you let yourself out, then then you've already told yourself, you're not really serious. You ain't really serious this time either. We have mini quits before we have the micro quit. What happens is we quit with little things. So when you say something, it's important to have personal integrity. That if I said I'm writing from 3 to 7, I don't care if you have to build that personal integrity to know this is what we're going to do. Period. That matters. If you ever start saying, well, I'm not going to do it today, negotiating, don't negotiate with yourself. Because what does this do? This sets the bar, not just for you, because you are the bar for everyone else. So when you have personal integrity, the people in your life that you will have around you will know, oh, this woman means business. When you don't, the people around you will be raggedy. And so that's a gut check for you. If you're around people that don't call when they say they're going to call, don't do what they're going to do, well, do you not do what you're going to do? And I'm talking in small things. It matters. All of it matters. Faithful over the small things. It matters. And so that's the practical way that I, started 9 years ago. And I still, to this day, I'm big on time blocking and really guarding my energy and my health. I'm not going to be tired because of something I did to myself. It's going to be because of, something that I can look at it and say, oh, that's why I'm tired. This is great. I created something, or I made something. I moved my family forward. I'm not just going to be tired, rehearsing things that are wearing me down. No, no.
I love that. I love that. And, getting things done, like you said, and not overworking yourself, like you brought up earlier about that list, being specific and knowing, okay, these are the main priorities.
That's right.
I think we're in a society where, because it's cliche, it's the end thing. Everybody's grinding, everybody's hustling, everybody looking busy, but are you productive?
That's right. What's the fruit? Where's the fruit? You should feel bad talking about how tired you are if you're not like, on the verge of being like massively successful in your finances and your health, and your life should reflect it.
Mm-hmm.
Or stop saying it, because otherwise it's like, okay, something's wrong with that.
Somebody lying.
Or you're working hard going the wrong direction. If I live in Atlanta, so I can go north all day long towards New York and say I did a lot, but I'm going the wrong way. And that's what a lot of people are doing the equivalent. You don't have the right instructions. And so you may be working hard, going the wrong way.
Because you could be working hard going the wrong way too. And I think that needs to be shared with our audience. Are you working hard to go the right way towards your goals, towards your dreams, being ambitious for the right things, or are you being ambitious, or do you have a desire for the wrong things that are going to be roadblocks that are not getting you where you're saying that you want to go? And that's but we can tell a lot about your actions, about what you use your time, your energy, and what you're investing. And when we talk about that, talking about fruit, speaking of the fruit of getting the book done, how has publishing your book improved your life?
Publishing my book has improved my life. Gosh, how do I narrow that down? First, just the personal satisfaction of I just knew that this is what I needed to get done. And now just seeing the lives of women, I'll get strangers who will email me and say, oh, this helped me get over, my cancer diagnosis, or this helped me when I lost my mom. It really just, I can't tell you what it does for me emotionally. Now, real talk, financially, the book is like an expensive business card. It has been it has opened doors to speaking engagements. And so it's changed my life in that way. Visibility, credibility. When you've written a book, because so many people want to, but few do it, it then separates you. And so you can put author, and again, the so what to this motive of being separated matters. My separation is so that I can then point all of these people to the God who brought me through it. This isn't, all eyes on me separation. The motive matters. And my book gives me, has opened a lot of doors for me, because people will find it on Amazon or wherever it's amazing. It's amazing. It continues to amaze me. Or I'll get a notification that someone from Japan, for those of you who are written, you'll get notifications when you get paid by Amazon. You self-publish. KDP is the Kindle Direct Publishing. And I get a notification, when I have a certain dollar amount. And sometimes it'll say like Japan. I'm like, I don't know anyone there. So it takes you places that you couldn't have taken yourself. You wouldn't have known. Just like the word says, above what you could think or imagine. That's what happens when you are in total alignment to the best of your ability with what God has for you. Then you have access to his promises. And it's incredible. It will blow your mind. It really will.
When you bring it up about the mind blowing that God provides for us and the doors that it opens, I want those of you to understand too, as well, what Miss Gross is sharing. If she didn't do anything, she wouldn't even have anything to glorify, or she wouldn't attract people that she could share her faith with.
That's right.
Don't miss that. He said, whatsoever you do it, he'll prosper. But you got to do it. You got to do something. A lot of people are missing that part of the scripture. They missing it, that through your success will allow. Guess what? We could get super spiritual and all that on the show. That's not what we're trying to do. But I'm just going to give it to you the real. You can talk about that you love the Lord or Buddha, whoever you want to come up with, all you want to. But there are people out there who they're going to see, what are the fruits? Right. Or is this person living a life that I might want to? Do they have something? When we think about peculiar, sometimes we look at it as, oh, I need to look weird. I got to have this type of dress on. I got to wear this type of suit. I got to say these kind of words or whatever it may be. No. The being peculiar will be, it's things that are separating you that will let others look at you and say, you know what, I want some of that. You know what, I want to be a part of that. You know what, I want to grow and I want to be how she is. Or you know what, it might be something as simple as, you know what, I like her hair. Right. It might be something just as simple as that, that can spark a conversation with you and move forward. So those are some of the things that I just want to share with our audience and let them know, is that don't get it twisted. It's a purpose. Miss Gross has a purpose. That's what's allowing her to be able to move forward and work the way she is, because it's driven for, it's not just to get, don't get me wrong, she can get, it's things that she likes, but it's the sole purpose for it isn't just to get a car. It's not just to get a pair of shoes. That will come along the process, but at the same time, that's not the sole purpose of that. Would you agree with that, Ms. Gross?
Absolutely. That's so true. And as women, sometimes we'll focus on those things, and of course, like you said, I do like those things. I love those things, but they can't be the top priority. The priority has to be your contribution. It has to be the value. See, the marketplace rewards value, period. And so it will tell you what value you're putting out there. And so it has to be about the quality of work that you are putting out there. And then you are rewarded based on that value that you first put out. That's the way it works. I mean, simple, not easy. And a lot of people don't get that. They want to get the return without the value, or they want to have low value with a high quality return. It doesn't work. The marketplace, wherever you are right now, it's matching the value you're putting out there. It is. And that might be a gut punch, but it's just real talk. That's just the way it works.
Ooh, ring the alarm. Miss Gross is going in. Miss Gross, I'm telling you, I love this interview. I needed this interview this morning. I'm telling you, you have made my day with this interview. I'm primed and prepped, and I'm ready to move forward with the day. If you don't get something out of this interview, shame on you. I just want to tell you that right now. If you don't get anything out of this interview right here, it's something for everybody in this interview. And that's why I love having the author spotlight, so we can be able to pour into you in this way. Now, if you don't mind, Cledra, please share with our audience where they can get the book, how they can participate, and how they can book you to come and speak to their office or their team or their association or whoever it may be.
Okay, excellent.
Just, the book anything you got going on, please share it.
Okay, great. So my website is the best place to get everything from me. So Cledra.com, Cledra.com. So that's easy. And as far as the book, whether you want Kindle or hard copy, you can get it from Amazon. So that's easy as well. And Rewrite Your Story is the title. But if you forget that and remember my name, Cledra, I'm the only Cledra on Amazon. I'll come up if you put that in. And, you know, on my website, I have a lot of resources that can help you because, again, I'm all about the value, providing the value. And if this is value that you've heard today that you think, you know, your team or your office, as Darren said, would benefit from, then, you know, you'll see on my website how to contact me.
Hey, this was just this interview. So, hey, I'm telling you, because I know people who tune into this show. And you have companies, y'all part of association, y'all looking for speakers, y'all looking for people to come in. Please make sure that you go. We'll have it in the show notes, all the information from Miss Gross. But you have to book this young lady. You have to bring her in because she's doing phenomenal things. And this is just the beginning. I already know it. With this power she got, you'll be saying, you know, Darren was saying it. Darren said it on your. I'm saying, this boy must be a prophet. He said again that it was going to be a wonderful interview and that she was going to pour out. So thank you so much. And if you don't mind, Cledra, share with our audience, if you don't mind, for that person out there who's thinking to themselves, like, I'm about to give it up on live. I hear what Cledra is sharing, but I don't think I have nothing to give. I want to share my story. I want to write my book, but I don't know if it's worth me doing. Could you speak to that person who might be straddling the fence on writing a book and sharing their story and share with them the importance of writing a book?
You know, I would say, first of all, I understand. I've been there where I'm like, what is this all for? I felt like everybody was passing me in life. So I get it. But this is the one sentence, the 3 words that I held on to. One more time. One more time. Because when you're in a dark place, sometimes it's hard to believe the whole story. But I could believe one more time that, okay, I'm going to get up and write one more time. I'm going to go to the gym one more time. And I would get up and say that every day. And that's it. I could believe for one more time. And as the days built, see what's going to happen for you is you're going to build new evidence for yourself. So as the days accumulate and you keep saying one more time, you're going to look up and a week has passed. And then a month. And then 6 months. And then you're going to say, oh my gosh, look at this. I have done this for a year. So what you need to do from that place of wilderness, because I get it, is to just say one more time. That's it. That's it. And to and believe that I just got to do this. That's it.
You know what? As they will say in the old Baptist church, that'll preach. That'll preach right there, Gary. That'll preach right there. Yeah, just one more time. One more time. That's all you gotta do.
I even have a headband that says OMT, and a lot of people for years didn't know what it meant. But that's how I would motivate myself because I couldn't believe it either. I don't want you to think that I believed all this stuff. My everything was shattered, but I had to make it real small. And just say, can I do it for today? That's it.
I'm telling y'all. I know I got some issues, and this is part of the selfish part. But I create these shows for me because I'm a lifelong learner. And this right here, it tells me like this is compliment, Darren. Good job. Now I know y'all out there listening, and I know y'all gonna say, "Hey, Darren, it was good for us too." But this is like Campbell soup. This is good. I'm telling you right now, girl. This is good. This is good. So I'm just grateful and thankful again, Miss Gross, Cledra, that you came on. You really poured into us. You didn't leave nothing out today, and I know definitely I'm better personally. I'm giving my testimony. I'm better by hearing you coming on and share today. I have to get the book. I'm gonna contact you. I'm gonna let Stephanie know we got to buy this book immediately. We got to have it. See, maybe even I can work something out with you and see if we can put some in your PayPal. I know if you have some that you might be able to mail to us as well. If you have any on deck, or get it signed by you, because I know the book is good. Yeah, because you're doing your thing. But we would love to be able to support and connect on other things. Do you have any last words before we end this particular episode?
The last word is exactly what you quoted, that all things that know that you are not beyond having hope, no matter what it is, you're not beyond it. And that it's possible for even the most severe pain or the disappointment, that it can be transformed into something that you can't even imagine. And I want you to hold on to that, that it could really be the path to your profit, what you thought was the path to pity. Just allow yourself to believe that. I want you to allow yourself, even the procrastination of this book and waiting, even that too can serve you. It's possible.
Y'all see me? I'm over here writing notes. I'm writing notes while I'm recording. I'm writing all this down. I'm getting I got my notes down. One more time, path to profit instead of pity. I got all kind of working on your spirit self and your physical body. Focus on the blocked out time with your main priorities. Don't create these massive lists. At 3 a.m., how bad do you want it? Oh man, don't let pity rob you of your destiny or your purpose, whatever it may be. I had to get something out of the pain. That's just Darren Palmer recap. Y'all thought it was a joke. Y'all thought it was a joke. I'm over here writing notes over here. I'm a student. I'm writing notes. But thank you so much again, Cledra. I really appreciate you coming on. And for those of you out there, you are the real MVPs because you're taking time out of your schedule. Yeah. As Cledra shared, she's in the same position. Just one more time, taking advantage, growing, going faith by faith, one step at a time, consistently growing, being persistent, overcoming obstacles. That's what she had to do to get to where she is. And she's continued to do the same thing. Yeah. There's new mountains, new levels, new devils. So she's had to continue to keep moving forward, doing the things that she had to do. And remember that you can catch this episode every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch this episode or hear from other key KPIs or planet shakers or change agents just like Cledra, who are making a difference around the world by knowing what their purpose is and make sure that they pour into others. So until next time, remember that this is the year for your new book, and remember that you are extraordinary and not ordinary. Thank you so much, Cledra. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Thank you.